Welcome to perhaps an unexpected stream. I was saying earlier this week that I wouldn't be able to do this Pro League match. I'd have to skip a week, which wouldn't have been a huge problem. There are 4 weeks in each season of the Switch Sports Pro League, and you take your best 3 18-hole rounds out of those 4 weeks. We play 2 18s per week, so you have 8 chances if you play all the rounds to get your best 3. I thought I was going to have 6 chances, but I actually am able to play this one. They've added an additional flight time, so all of these pro leagues go at set times, and there was one that was added that I was actually home in time for, so I've been gone for about 5 days or so. As Sensei joins, I believe that's the entire lobby. We've got Rick and Sensei as well as Major Tom here, so a small but very, very stacked lobby for this additional flight. I'm glad this one worked out. I can't promise that I'll play my best rounds, or that I'll play my best rounds of all time, but I can promise that I'll try my best. I've been up since about 3:30 or so a.m. this morning. My apartment buzzer is going off. I'm not sure who that is, so I'm not going to touch it. Hello everybody who's joining here. We should be able to get started in a second. But in the meantime, hopefully I don't miss when we actually get going, but we have my team here. So CBTV, my team captain, put up a 22 and I believe another 23 this week. So his 3 rounds, as well as all of my other teammates' rounds, are up there. I'm playing the last flight of this week, so I'll be able to fill in my 3rd round. We've got CB with a 68 through the first 2 weeks, a very, very solid start there. Emmanuel with a 61, Boogeyman with a 50, Emmanuel with a nice 21. That may have been a tied personal best for Emmanuel. So our team is off to a great start. We're actually currently in 3rd place, and I'll jump on over to the week 1 results. I mean, this is week 1 out of 4, so it's still very much in the early going. But this is our results through the first week. We've got the Animals, Ads' Animals, on top with minus 169. A fantastic start for just 8 total rounds being counted. The Terrific Tigers, I believe the runner-up of last season, if I remember correctly, are in 2nd place. And the Breakers, my team, podium. We finished in the top 3 of a week for the first time ever. So our team is on the up and up. I'm hoping to be nice and competitive this year. Some of the teams had a couple players. I see that Blade has commented about the Carrots. Some of the teams have a couple players that didn't play in the first week, and that's why the scores look so low.
Let's go.
But we're close to the top with the Breakers. There's still a whole bunch of this season to play. Those teams will catch back up as those players make up the week 1 that they missed. So the standings are a little, spaced out right now, but as players are able to fill out their 3 rounds, it will get tighter. We're starting here. We've got me, Sensei, Major Tom, and Rick in this lobby. A very, very interesting one. 4 out of 8 total possible players in the Switch Sports Golf lobby, but this should have no shortage of entertainment with some of the top players in the game joining me here. All right, let's start on this hole 1. We've got 4 mile-an-hour winds pushing to the right, and the front right pin. So let's hit a good first drive out there. Let me make sure I'm sending my stream links to the proper place. So we'll be nicely in the fairway with a good look at this second shot. Not the easiest of setups, but it's not too bad to try to make this eagle. Let me... Okay, make sure I'm online. I am. I'll get that link sent in a second. So I'll hit this shot, and then I will send the links to the proper place as we await the next hole. So we'll aim this one a touch out to the left. About to there should be good. I think I like where that's aimed. And now it's a matter of trying to get the power right. So we want to use the 9-iron with a little bit of extra power. Let's try about that. Oh, Rick has made it. Great shot to Rick. Mine looks real good. It's going to roll up. Oh, and lip around. Very close call on the first hole here. We're going to tap in a birdie. My girlfriend is plugging in the vacuum. I wonder what that means. Is there a scary bug? Oh man, it may get a little loud for a second. I'll tap in for the birdie. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot. There were 2 new teams that I forgot to add to the rankings. I was making the graphic and oh my goodness, I forgot the Spocko cows. Oh, there's a big bug. I may have to go deal with big bug. Hang on, I have to go deal with that for a second. You'll hear the vacuum. It'll be pretty comedy in the background. Alright, I'll be back in a second. We're back for the first game back in a while, and the largest centipede of all time decided to crawl down the wall and terrify my poor girlfriend. She was beckoning over, like, get over! She knows I'm streaming, and I mean, she didn't have to respect that when there's a bug involved, but she did. Kudos to her. Let's see if we can hit this shot down there. Oh, so there's the McStrokers and the Spaco Cows. I'm sorry about forgetting to add those two teams. I was just moving around last year's graphic, trying to find where all the teams were placed. Kind of in a rush, because this was an unexpected stream for me. So I will get that fixed. Ooh, we're off to... that's not going to be a make. Just another tap-in birdie. So we've got 2 holes. It's going to be 2 birdies. I actually don't think I... held anybody up. We still have people putting, so that's good. I had to leave for a little bit, but we're back now. We'll tap that up there, so not the greatest start with 2 birdies, but not bad at all. Can't complain about 2 birdies in competitive mode when you're dealing with different tees and, you know, not the easiest wins. So Rick will have a 3-under through 2, a nice start after eagling the first. Tougher second hole with that stronger crosswind. Sensei and I will be tied in second. Hayden asks, what's the key on hole 6? That one really depends on the exact wind condition and pin placement combo. There's a lot of combos to have in mind on hole 6. It really changes the game, like how to play the hole depending on what combo you get. There are some that are definitely a lot tougher than others, some that are definitely the toughest in the game, like the front pin, tougher, or, you know, headwind. But a lot of it is just trying to, you know, get similar conditions and slowly figure it out from there. All right. How does this league work and run? So there are currently 12 teams. In that graphic I showed at the beginning, I had 10 of the 12 on there. Once again, I apologize for kind of the rushed graphics. I've been traveling today, and I've been away for the past 5 days. It is Thanksgiving week here in the U.S. But there are 12 teams with 4 players on each team. Every week, you get to play 2 18s, and they're run at the same time. So everybody kind of starts at the same time. There are, as of now, 7 or 8 flight options. So there's like set based on time zones and people playing all over the world. There are 7 different times when you can actually join and play. But then from there, we play 2 18s, 2 18-hole rounds, kind of random seed, and you take your best 3 scores out of the season, which is 4 weeks long. So you have up to 8 chances, as I hit this shot on hole 3, and it looks like it's going to miss, to get good scores. You take your best 3, you add up the up to 12 scores for the team, and then it's a team competition, so you add up those 12 scores, and that's how the team aspect of it works. Good luck today. Glad to catch the team. Thank you, Mike. All right. 3 holes, 3 birdies. Not a good pin on hole 3. I feel like we see that one all the time in this league, but that's kind of how it goes. Oh, CBTV saying, my teammate CBTV, my team captain, saying he had the same exact as last week for himself, 23 and 22. So sometimes you can't, you know, get the conditions to get your best, but you just got to put a couple attempts out there every week, and hopefully in the long run, the scores kind of settle towards the mean, and you pick up a few good ones here and there to boost it up. All right, we've got 15-mile-an-hour winds pushing to the left. Another tougher pin. Let's see what we want to do here. We'll hit this one Is that 4 or 3 dark squares? 4, 5, 6, 7. What do we need? Maybe a little bit less than that. We'll call it to like there. That's going to be my estimate. Now let's hit it with about that much power. Maybe slightly less.
Nice shot.
And that should be a good shot. At least near the pin. Yeah, it's going to miss considerably left. But that'll be a fine leave for the birdie putt once that moves back a little bit. Ooh, someone had a real close call there that kind of zipped back. We'll be 10 feet away. With a little, kind of side hill putt. Not too bad, though. We should be able to just roll this down there, just outside the right edge. Tap it, roll it in. 4 birdies in a row. Sensei is playing in this lobby. So this is also kind of the 1v1 versus Sensei. What do I think about this added time? I like this one. I don't think it'll work for me every week, but some weeks it definitely will. And especially this week when I would not have been able to play otherwise because I had been gone up until like the last flight ended is like pretty much exactly when I got back. I wouldn't have been able to play if not for this one. So nice to have this one, a good week, a fortunate week to have it added. We'll see, I think birdies all around there. It's been a tough seed. I mean, not the hardest seed for like scoring. It never really can be though, for like birdies and stuff in the first 4 holes or so. So it's just been kind of a grind, you know, make birdies, and we're just hoping to find that couple of eagle conditions to take advantage of. Hasn't happened yet. Maybe hole 1 was a good chance. I lipped it out. Rick made it. But that's kind of been it so far. Tougher hole 2, tougher hole 3, pretty difficult hole 4. Not going to be any easier here on hole 5. Actually quite difficult, if anything. 17 miles an hour, kind of in the face, pushing to the right quite a bit. Let's aim it to like there. Let the wind push it to the right, hopefully not all the way into the tree. Oh, that may be trouble. Hopefully that takes a good bounce. Oh, is it going to? I will barely escape. Wow, that could not have been closer to trouble. But we'll end up getting real lucky and just missing that serious, serious tree trouble. Okay. I could not have been closer to some serious bad situations here. But I'll be able to just hit a normal shot out to that fairway. I mean, it's another tougher hole here. Hole 5 is not going to be the most straightforward of eagles, but we have a chance. Next week together, I typically play the Friday night one, or Friday night US time. So flight 1 or flight 6 also works pretty well for me. Other than that, I kind of work a lot on the weekends, so it's tougher for me to schedule this one as compared to other formats and other tournaments, but if it's one of those flights, I will likely be in it. I was in the tree. My avatar was in the tree. That was interesting. I hope to not be back there again. Let's try to hit a little chip up there. Ooh, is that going to roll back? No, it's not. It's just going to glide. So just another fine birdie. Rick may roll that back in. It looks like he will. Very nice shot. So Rick will have 2 chip-ins now. And 2, I mean, it hasn't been easy. This one was a tough one. 17 mile an hour crosswind. He got that good bite on the eagle chip. So very nice on that one. Hole 1 was not easy either. So Rick with 2 tougher eagles to start this game. I'll just have 5 birdies. I mean, nothing wrong with that, especially with the conditions that we saw. It takes some really good shots to make eagles with the wind conditions and the pin spots that we saw at the start of this match. But Rick will pull ahead by 2 shots here. So a great start. 7 under through 5 is not easy with what we saw with the winds and pins, but Rick pulls it off. Sensei and I will just be at 5 under. I think Tom actually already played his matches for the week, so he's kind of just here. He runs the league. Sometimes he just hops in. So I don't think Tom is playing competitive rounds here. I may be wrong, but I think that's the case if you're wondering about Tom. Okay. Am I right? Okay, so Tom has already played his matches. He's just here for fun. And for, you know, getting the scores down and stuff like that. We'll have 13 miles an hour in the face here. Once again, not the easiest setup, but this one's not too bad on hole 6. So someone was asking about hole 6 earlier. Here we see one of the more straightforward conditions where we can just aim it out to the left a bit, hit it with a good amount of power, and it's pretty straightforward. You just kind of want to be in this spot on the fairway. There's a nice gap in the trees when you're here. We can just send this one out there with about that much power, and it should be pretty good. Okay, that's the shot that I wanted. Hopefully, ooh, that may not actually make it there. Take a big bounce for me. Ooh, it's not quite going to do it, and it's going to roll back just a bit. So this is going to be a tougher putt. We're going to be 25 feet away. It looks like a couple other people are going to be short with me. We've got a good-looking rollback there from Tom. Very nice. And Rick with... was that a roll-up shot? Interesting. CBTV says Tom is just here for the driver chips. We'll see. We'll see if he actually does it. Okay, I've got a tougher little putt here. Let's see how this is going to roll. I mean, not a ton to the right, but I think aiming it to there with a little less than 2 dots is the way to go. That looks pretty good. That should trickle down, and we'll sink it nicely. It's fun to make those side hilly ones, but they're very stressful when you're looking at them. When you see it rolling on the proper line, though, it's quite satisfying. All right, so we'll just make 6 tougher birdies. Eagles have not been easy to come by. The putts haven't been tap-ins necessarily. But we're 6 under through 6, not bad. A lot of the opportunities appear on the back 9. If you can catch one on the front, you know, that's ideal, but we're kind of running out of time here on the front 9. 7 is never easy, 8 is never easy, and 9 is really, really conditionally dependent. So, I mean, we can try our best here on this whole 7 to put one out there. I mean, you never know with some lighter wind like we see and a pin position that's not too bad. We can just put that one down to the end of this short fairway. Kyle says, Aiden and Sensei matchups are goated. You know, it's very fun to play against him, you know, kind of the other content creator on here who's also very, very good at the game. Always a treat to play against Sensei. Alright, let's see what we want to do. I think 3-iron may still be the play. Now, how much power do I want? I'm going to call it a little over 3 dots. Right about there. I think that's good. That should make it up and over and hit the fairway, which is ideal. Now, let's see what kind of rollback that takes. That may be really good. That may fall. It's going to. We'll make the eagle on hole 7 with a nice little backspin that catches the fairway perfectly and kind of glides back and in. So just up and over that tree is where you want to go with that one. It just rolls back super nicely and falls. We'll take that shot all day. Oh, there's a super close one from Sensei. That was on almost a fantastic line. It just smacks the pin. Now, if that went an inch to the right or landed like a foot shorter, I mean, that could have dunked or had the same exact type of, you know, rollback as mine. So a super close call there. That's not an easy one. Sensei will have to tap in the birdie. The Eagles have not been easy. Rick's made 2 good ones. That one was not the easiest one for me. Tom will, lip it out. But once again, I don't think Tom is playing for competitive rounds here. He's just here for recording the results. So Tom will tap it in. And I'll be ahead of birdie golf, which is where you want to be. So my score that I'm trying to beat, if I throw it up there again, in my first week I put up a 24 and a 22 under par. So my total is currently at 46. So with this being my 3rd round, this kind of counts for now, no matter what. But you always want to put up the best score possible and try to beat your 3rd score at least, to be improving your team score. Fan club from Thailand, welcome in. We got other people joining here. I didn't really announce this one. It was kind of, as we see, a very, very difficult condition here. It was kind of an impromptu one. I, you know, was able to play this kind of unexpectedly, and we're just kind of on here now. So appreciate everybody who hopped in kind of unexpectedly here. What do we want to do here? This is a difficult one. I mean, I don't think I want to roll this up there. Spin may be the play. Let's use the 5, a little over 3 dots of power, and try that out with some spin. I don't think the spin's going to catch super hard, hopefully. Now, if that takes a big bounce, let's see how it rolls back. Okay, that'll be fine. I mean, that's not an easy putt, and it never was going to be with this wind pin combo. Not the easiest. I did go backspin. And we'll have not a tap-in, it's going to require some thought. I would like to be below the hole in this case, but I kind of went a little more aggressively for it, hoping it would roll back down and not be too far away. It's not too bad, though. We can just send this up there, I think on this line, and maybe like a half dot of power. And hopefully it makes it. Ooh, my putter's being weird. Let me put that down, let it recalibrate for a second. This happened last time, and I kind of tried to power through it, so I'm just going to kind of talk through the 10 seconds or so that I need to put the putter down for in order for it to hopefully recalibrate. What hole was it? It looked like a micro putt. Everybody was calling it that, but I kind of knew based on the putter not giving me the... Oh, there we go. See, it's back. So I'm doing the same exact motion as I was before, and I'm getting a different input, or a different result. Same input, different result. It recalibrated back to normal. You just have to put it down for a little bit. And it worked. We make a tougher birdie there with some tougher wind on that hole 8. What's up, Lemon? Welcome in. Untethered Rage asks, does this game get stale? How do you still get excited about playing it? It's a lot like real golf in the, like, if you like belong to like a golf course and you get to know the course really well, like trying to, you know, learn every aspect of it and like learn every sort of condition. That's like how I played golf. Like I, you know, went to the same course over and over, and it was a lot of fun to just like play it that way. And this game reminds me of that a lot. Where even now, like 3 years in, and with a lot of people who put a lot of time into the game, there are still constantly things being discovered, little like design. I don't want to call them like Easter eggs, but like little design aspects of this where it's like, oh, like this particular shot is makeable if you do exactly this, and nobody had really tried it before. There's always new strategies being discovered. It's really just a beautifully designed, like limited game, but for it being limited, there's so much to it. Yes, we got Sensei in the lobby too, and Rick, currently the #1 ranked player in the game. So we have quite a few, or I shouldn't say quite a few. We have everybody here with some very interesting backstories, I guess. Let's club up to the 5 here and just try to carefully... I don't want to hit the fringe, that's kind of the fear. But hopefully even if we do, it's not too bad. Just a little over 3 dots. Hopefully bounce that up there nicely. Is it going to hit the fringe? It won't, which is perfect. Ooh, it's still going to end up weirdly to the side, though. So it's going to be another tough putt. This has not been an easy seed at all. As seems to always be the case in this pro league, it's a battle. Every single hole, none of them are easy. And that's not always the case. Like, you get random seeds. Sometimes you get some nice ones, but not the case here. We're fighting tooth and nail for a 10 under on the front 9. Not a single one of those holes was easy. We make a nice eagle on 7 through some wind. Birdies on the rest of them. And yeah, to go back to that question about whether the game gets stale, I truly enjoy every time I play it. Like, there's so much to it, despite it seeming so simple. It's kind of beautiful in that way. And it's the game is Switch Sports Golf. Oh, there we go, Tom is back. Is Sensei recording? I'm not exactly sure. He may have joined kind of impromptu as well. So this was not like a pre-planned stream. I actually sent, or I posted last week that I probably wouldn't be able to play, or that I wouldn't be able to play this this week's Pro League, but we're here. There was an extra flight time added that worked for me after a week of travel, so we're back playing. I thought I might have some rust, but I'm actually playing pretty okay on this front 9, given that I haven't played the game in a couple days, and I've been awake for way too long. It's only the mid-afternoon, and I feel like it's like evening. CBTV, my team captain says, shotgun seeds are the worst. They always are. You know, last week, on my 24, I made a 9 under on the front 9, and like once again, that wasn't an easy one. Like, that was kind of the score of the group, and then it took like a 15 under on the back 9 to score like the other to tie the other high score of the week. So pretty wild conditions for the first 2 weeks here. Do we compete for prize money? There's no money on the line for, like, actually winning this. It really is just, like, you know, honor and mostly fun. And yes, I only play the golf mode on this game. Okay, so I'll actually have, through the front nine, a one-shot lead over Rick and Sensei. It hasn't been easy. 10 under doesn't feel like the greatest score, but, you know, given the circumstances, I'll absolutely take it. It feels like probably about the best I could do. You know, I lipped out one, and that was really the only other decent look, other than the one that I actually made on hole 7.
Nice shot.
Every single other one of them was just an absolute battle. A whole lot of tough birdie putts that I got to fall. We'll move on to the back and hope for some nicer conditions. Let's see what we want to do here. This one's a decision, that's for sure. I think we want to aim this a little out to the right and maybe spin it. Let's try it. Let's aim it to like there. We'll hit it with like maybe about pin high power on the power meter. It's a little uphill, so I'll let the wind cancel that out. And just hope that that bites nicely right of it. Oh, that looks really good if it makes it back. Oh, it's going to. All right. I'll make the eagle on 10. So for my first round back, I feel a little delirious. I'm sorry if my I'm sorry if my commentary is not up to par. I've been awake. Oh, that was not even an intentional pun. My girlfriend's giggling from the couch about that one. I wish I could take credit for thinking about that, but like I said, I'm a little delirious after being awake for a very long time traveling today. Well, we're playing good golf, so we'll take it. All right, 12 under through 10 is what we're going to be at here. CBTV says yet. Oh, about the no prize money? That'd be fun if we could get there, but that would definitely change the game. How do you add spin? You stop your swing at the bottom. So instead of following all the way through, like across your body, you just stop it at the hip, and that's what gives you that nice spin. We've got 0 wind here, so the conditions have lightened up a bit on the back 9 so far. It wasn't easy on 10, but we make it there. And now we've got a real good look at 11. You know, there's a way that people play this one that seems to be a pretty consistent ace, but I just can't seem to get the power down. Like we see right there, Rick with a nice one. So I'm going to go for just like top of the 3rd dot or so on the 5-iron and hope that this bounces up and in. I want this to hit the fringe on the first bounce. If it does, it has a really good chance. Oh, it's going to be just short of it. Let's see if it still makes it up there. It will end up 0.2 feet short. Like I said, I just don't quite have the ace on that on that pin. I'll have to tap in for the birdie. Did we see an ace? I know we saw one from Rick. Tom tapped in for the birdie, and Sensei ended up just inches away as well. So a bunch of real close calls there. Lance XD is asking my favorite hole and then saying that I am not Sensei. Sensei is here. I am not Sensei. Because we are currently playing against each other. My favorite in this game, I think I said it was hole 7 last time I was asked, which was a controversial answer. But I like it, and a lot of other people seem to not like it. So, I don't know. I feel like it gives me an advantage, even though it's not the most fun and it's not the easiest. I feel like I play it pretty well. So Rick with a nice ace there will pull back to 1 shot back. I've got a good round going. 13 through 11 is a pretty good pace for this tougher seed. And what do we have here? We have that kind of middle left pin.
Nice shot.
And some very light wind. What's up, Zen? Welcome in here. This is actual golf. I was just playing this last night with my cousins. It's such a fun game. I mean, it's a good, like, you know, hang out and play game, but it's also a great competitive game, too. So there's a lot to it. I really enjoy this game. Let's see what we want to do here. Let's aim this one to, like... We'll call it there. I think that's decent. For power, we'll do like that much. And just see if it works. That feels like maybe too much. Let's see where it actually ends up. That's going to end up a little too far left, I think, anyway. Big hop. Just missing on the left side. You know, that pin, for being the local pin that I'm quite, you know, familiar with, it's not an easy one to albatross. I mean, it's not a hard eagle, really, ever, with the lighter wind conditions you see in this game mode, but it's just a tough one, that pin. There's some other ones that are a little more doable, more consistently. My personal best in this competitive mode is 25. I don't play the competitive mode super often, and I do definitely differentiate between the competitive and the local mode personal best. So mine is 27 in the local, like the one-player mode, and 25 in the competitive mode. But I'm hoping to play some more 18s, push that a little lower. I feel like I get really close every time I play the local mode to beating that old... It's an older record. I hit it like maybe like a month or so ago, and haven't been able to match it since then, but hoping to push that a bit lower. L70 says, I was able to score 22 and 19, then after that get a second 62-point game followed by a 66-point game. Wow, L70 is going off in global mode. I mean, 2 60s in a day is impressive, but a 66, that's my personal best in that game mode. Hello, Shaquille Oatmeal, welcome in. I had a good Thanksgiving. I hope everybody in the US, or are there any other countries that celebrate Thanksgiving? I don't think so. Had a good Thanksgiving. All right, we've got eagles across the board there. That'll push me to 15 under through 12. A pretty good pace. Let's see if we can keep that rolling. We're at 3 better than birdie golf. There's a couple more potential eagles coming up. Also, you know, potential pars towards the end. You never know what kind of conditions you're going to get. That's why we play a whole bunch of rounds. And in the long run, it tends to even out. Just another tougher pin here. We never seem to see the nice pins in this game mode. It's not too bad, though. Let's just aim it to... I want to call it there, but I'm not exactly sure. Do we want to go slightly more? Maybe. Maybe we'll try that. With, like, that much power. Let's see if that works. Okay, I think that was a good shot. Ooh, it's going to push a little too far to the right, I think. Or to the left, I should say. It'll sneak around, though. I thought that might smack the pin, but it ends up just missing it.
Nice approach.
And just a close approach. 7.5 feet. Side hilly. Gotta be careful. Oops. That's not what I wanted to do. That's the button I meant to hit. I'm a little rusty on which buttons I have to hit for stuff. Canada has Thanksgiving. It's at a different time of year. Is that, like... Is that Boxing Day? Maybe I shouldn't say anything, because I just don't know. Okay. Wow, that was a super close one for Rick. I believe that was his tee shot that ends up just on the edge. This pin is alright when you get the spin down. I actually don't recall ever acing this one. I mean, I probably have at some point gotten lucky, but I have no idea what you have to do for it in terms of like aim and stuff like that. I tend to just put it close within that little 10-foot radius and drop it in from there. So just a birdie on 13. I mean, I've been playing well. I had a couple opportunities for eagles. Made a nice one on 7, a nice one on 10, and then a pretty straightforward one on 12. And we get some tailwind here, so not a bad looking hole 14. Yeah, so we can send this one way out to the right. And as long as I don't make any egregious mistakes, this one should be a fairly straightforward one as well. It's got a front pin though, so I have to be careful. We want to make sure we carry that bunker. It's going to be purely crosswind, I think, on this second shot. Which helps with the distance. It's just a tougher albatross when it's like that. We can use the 9-iron, so we can put plenty of height on this one, which is nice. So just a little more than pin high power should be good. We'll aim it out to like there or so. Hit it with like that much power, and that looks pretty good. Okay, that looks perfect. Let's see if it just ends up close. Alright, we'll just glide it to a stop right next to the pin. Tougher albatross with the maximum crosswind, but we'll have a tap-in eagle, and that feels pretty good here. So we'll just send that up, tap it in. Hole 14, oftentimes a straightforward eagle, other times a much tougher one. You know, this back 9 is so well designed in that way, where like 12 is always a good eagle chance, regardless of wind conditions in this, you know, competitive like lobby, private lobby mode that we play. 14 is hit or miss. 18 is even more so hit or miss. So they get more difficult and less guaranteed of eagles as you go, which is fun. It's a fun game design that way. How Wii Golf stole my attention from football, I'll never know. I mean, I don't know if I'd personally put Wii Golf over. If I had Red Zone, I'd probably be watching that. And if I wasn't playing, but I actually have football on the TV. What's it, halftime of of whatever game's on? We don't have Red Zone, but we've got just a game. The Colts game, I think. Colts and Texans. Alright, so we'll make another eagle there. That'll push to 18 under through 14. So we've got 4 holes to play. And it's really hit or miss depending on the conditions you see towards the end. If we can push this lower or if we just have to fight for... I think this would be a 22 if I were to continue just making birdies from here on out. Oh, we see a nicer looking one. Okay. Yeah, this one's a nice looking setup. 2 miles an hour. I want to hit this down to that little short part. So we'll put about 3.5 dots of power on it. That should bounce nicely into the fairway here. If we end up in the rough, that's actually also fine. Maybe not ideal, but it's okay. I think we can still use the 3. Yeah, we can definitely use the 3. Or maybe even the 5. We'll roll it up there. Aimed out to the left just a touch. Now let's see if we can bounce this up there and at least put it close. We probably want to hit about that much power. Let's see. Now hopefully that gets a good little rollout off of the fairway. Nah, it's not going to do it. That's going to end up well short, actually. Wow, that really stopped quickly for kind of clubbing up. Alright, it's not a bad putt, though. EK Spice is back. Welcome back in. What's my favorite NFL team? I grew up a Patriots fan. I don't think my allegiance to them is as strong as it once was, even though they're really good this year. They're, like, incredibly good. But I can't claim that I've been paying attention for the past, like, 8 years or so. So, they're my loosely my favorite team. Alright, that feels like a bit of a blown opportunity there. Yeah, I put it in the rough when I didn't want to. Ended up kind of hitting more of a feel shot that didn't quite work out. But we'll make the birdie. I mean, it's been pretty good. Eagles on the holes that have been opportunities. Birdies throughout the rest of it. Drake May for MVP. I can get behind that. Ooh, and now we'll see a tougher wind condition on 16. So 16 is not looking nice. 31 miles an hour. This is the brutal seeds that we tend to always see in this pro league. It's just always like the most difficult possible setups. There's never a break from it. We'll have to just send one down to that left fairway and try to escape with a birdie here. I think I've left that in a good spot to go nicely through the tree gap. I hope that's the case, and it is. All right. We can just... Ooh, what? I think I want to hit probably the 9-iron with some spin. Maybe aim to, like, there. And hopefully that works nicely. Let's find out.
Nice shot.
Okay, I think that's good. Oh, that's going to be way too far to the right. Fortunately, it holds the green. It'll just glide to a stop. And we'll have a 17-foot putt. So, difficult hole 16. Not handled the best, but, you know, hopefully it's good enough to sink this birdie. Let's see. Let's aim it just outside the right edge. Hit it with a little extra power. That looks good. We'll make the birdie. We'll escape. Not my best approach shot. All right. Is this our first or second 18? This is the first 18. So we're on the final stretch of it here. Stafford for MVP. I mean, the Rams are really good too, right? I could see Stafford. And also definitely Jonathan Taylor. I mean, they have been unbelievable. Jonathan Taylor has been unbelievable this year. He's carried my one fantasy team completely by himself. My only league that's decent. It's purely because of Jonathan Taylor. We'll see some nice birdies from the group here. Not an easy hole 16. Oftentimes hole 16 is more of an eagle chance, but Not the case here. So 20 under through 16 is where I'll be. We'll have 2 more chances to try to push this score lower. It has not been an easy round at all. Have there been any 0 wind holes? I think hole 11, and I left that one to 0.2 feet. And that's been the only real opportunity for a good hole out. That wouldn't have been like, at least somewhat lucky. I mean, maybe 12 was a chance at an albatross, but that's, going for albatrosses is never the easiest either. And then, just missed one on 1, but, there haven't been many chances here. It's been a real battle to try to just get some good scores. Alright, let's just try to keep this one on the green. We'll aim it to like there. That looks pretty decent. Now I'm really hoping this doesn't launch on me. We'll have to see where it actually hits. Oh, it's going to take a big bounce and end up on the green, but a ways by. So, tougher hole 17 as well. That moderately strong crosswind is just not the most fun thing to deal with. We'll have a chance at the birdie though. It's a longer putt, but we can send it up there. Maybe make maybe make this one. What do we need? A little over 3 dots of power, right about there. That actually looks decent. It's not going to be a make, though. It's going to miss on the low side. So, hole 17, doing hole 17 things. Everybody seemed to end up pretty far away. That was not one that was not one that you could really put close unless you got real lucky. Doesn't look like any of us did. And I'll have to tap in a par. So, just a pretty brutal round here. It looks like we may see pars all around. Pretty brutal seed, I should say. I think I've played pretty well. Hole 17... I did what I needed to do, and I ended up 40 feet by. Because if you hit it shorter, you can either end up short, or it takes that lower bounce and launches all the way over the back. So the goal in that type of scenario is to just keep it on the green and give yourself a putt. I did that. It's a really tough green to read. Tom, with the only birdie, will keep the rest of us at, the scores that we were at. 20 under is where I'll be through 18. Kind of disappointing. I've been playing real well, just the scores have not been gettable. And we're going to have just a tough-looking finish here. Oh, is it actually tailwind? It is. It's tough tailwind. It's 29 miles an hour, but it's, not impossible, like we've seen on a couple other holes. So, I just want to put this seed behind us. They always seem to be brutal in this shotgun mode, but that's not the way the game actually is. It's definitely a personal bias to, think that it's like that. We'll just have to move on to the next round and hope that it's a little nicer with the conditions. Let's aim this one way out that way. Just try to hold the green. We'll hit this with like a little over 3 dots of power. We'll call it like 3.5 dots of power. Hopefully bounce this up there. Make this eagle and move on to the next one. Alright. I think that's the shot. That should move left a good ways. Is it going to be enough? It looks fine. We'll end up on the green, so that's good. Oh, barely on the green. It nearly trickled all the way down to the fringe after I said it, but we'll have a pretty makeable putt here. Once again, not an easy one. Had to hit a good shot just to put it there. Fortunately, we make it happen. We can just put it up that little hill. Sink the eagle. We'll put that round behind us. A 22 under for that one is not a bad score. When you look at the 22, you don't know whether it's like a disappointing 22 or a hard-fought 22. I think that was definitely a very hard-fought 22. Maybe the best 22 under par I've had in this game, because it just never, ever got easy. You hope for, I think on average you'll see about 2... I did the math at one point. You'll see about 2 0 wind holes per round. And other than that, sometimes you see some lighter wind, but that just didn't seem to be the case throughout that round. We saw 1 0 wind hole, left it to 0.2 feet, and, there were a couple other, lighter wind holes that were maybe doable, but just not many chances. 22 under, I'll take that. I had that type of score last week. It's put us on the podium. So a solid third score. I feel like I played better than a 22, so it's a little disappointing to see that. But we'll put it on the board. Let me actually add that on there now. So I'll put my third score conveniently at 22. That'll move our team score to 247. which is pretty solid. I mean, if we take a look at our team scores here, actually, hang on, I need to change mine to a 66, I think, or is that a 68? That'll be a nice 68 on the board, I think. Let me 46, yeah, 68. So a good score there. We'll move on to our second round here, and we'll start with some more difficulty. 11 miles an hour in the face
Nice shot.
on this hole one. You know, it's not too bad though. It could be worse. We'll end up on the shorter side. The wind's going to push this maybe a touch left. The green's going to push it another touch left. We'll use the 7, bounce it up there, and hope for some good luck. Let's see. We'll aim it to like there. It takes a bigger kick, just a slightly bigger kick, when you're using the 7-iron, so we'll keep that in mind. Yeah, right about there looks pretty good. We'll hit it with like that much power. I think that should be pretty good.
Nice shot.
Okay. Oh, that looks decent if it makes it, which I don't think it will. Yeah, the wind slowed that down. It's tough to tell whether you're hitting a downwind or a downhill shot or not on this first hole. I don't think I was there. I think it was less downhill than I was anticipating. Left it a little short. Rick will just miss it. Wow, that was a real good shot from Rick. Hole 1 is often one that you want to see an eagle on. But I mean, back left pin, it's not the hardest pin on this screen. There's a couple others that bounce quite a bit more. This one is definitely precise, but you don't have to adjust it as much as some others for the bounce on the green. But with 11 miles an hour in the face, it just gets difficult to judge the distance. So we'll see. Oh, Tom is no longer playing with us. So Tom just played the 1. It'll be me, Rick, and Sensei. We each have birdies on the first. So, you know, one of the eagle chances now behind us. They happen quick when you're playing 18s. They really happen in the first 5 holes. You know, the 1, 2, 3, and 5 are typically some of your better eagle chances on the front. We'll see if we could take advantage of any of them. And we have a decent looking condition here on hole 2. Middle left pin, 4-mile-an-hour winds. Not too bad. Let's see if we can sink it. I think that's a decent shot. That should fly on a good looking line. Now let's see if that rolls back nicely. It'll just miss on the left side. Oh man. Just needed maybe a touch more power. It's tough to tell when you're dealing with that very, very slight tailwind though, because it tends to not bite as hard. It tends to fly just slightly further. I feel like I've left that long a number of times, so to at least give it a chance and run it by the pin is pretty decent. We'll tap it in. There's been 0 free eagles, as they call them. Free eagles. I mean, they're never really free in this game. There's a great looking shot from Rick. Fantastic hole-in-one. Rolling it up there, I think, with the spoon. So we went for some different strategies there. Sensei just missed it, I think, with the spoon as well. I went with the 5-iron and just missed it in a separate way. But Rick will make the ace. That'll be a good start. Once again, 3 under through 2 for Rick, as the rest of us are just playing birdie golf on these kind of more doable holes. We'll move on to hole 3, see if we can get some of those freegles, or if we're going to keep dealing with some tougher winds and tougher pin conditions. It looks like we just have a crosswind here. What are we actually dealing with? Oh, 2 miles an hour. And not too bad of a pin. Okay. So this one's not too bad. We can just... I like to zero adjust this drive and then put it out to the right a bit more. There's different ways to go at this one. Different ways that are pretty consistent. I wouldn't call mine one of the more consistent ones, but with 2 miles an hour, I feel pretty confident that I can make it work. Let's see if it actually does.
Nice
So we'll just hit
shot.
2 full drives, the second one between those 2 trees, and we should end up kind of in the rough, maybe like 40-something yards away. Maybe 50-something. 43, okay. 43 yards out, slight tailwind. And that actually looks pretty perfect for the setup. Now the problem is, the very slight problem is that we're just a touch too far out. If you have 40 yards on the shot, you can really zoom in on that pin. But we don't. we're 43 out, so we just can't. And I need to adjust that very, very slightly left. Now let's see if we can bounce that up there with like that much power. Maybe slightly less than that. Right about there. Let's try that and see if we can sink it that way. Okay, I think I like that one. Let's see if it bounces nicely. Oh, it will. Perfect. All right.
Chip in.
We'll make the nice eagle on 3. That one was not free. That's kind of a personal strategy that I've figured out a little bit there. But it works nicely with very, very light wind. It's you know, maybe like a 50% success rate, but it works pretty well there. Big fan, keep doing what you're doing. Thank you. Is this shotgun? It is. So I'll now join Rick with 4 under par through 3 holes. Sensei is just 1 shot back, so a hole out, or a nice hole in 1 for Rick on the 2nd, and a nice hole out on the 3rd for me will put us 1 better than birdie golf. We're going to have some wind to deal with here on hole 4, some light wind, and once again, that tougher pin. 13 miles an hour is what it's going to be. Let's aim this one. I want to say to about there. It's tough to tell with this pin. We'll hit it with a little lighter 3-iron, maybe like there. Let's try that shot. I think that's pretty good. Oh, it's going to move a touch too far to the right, I think. Yeah, so it's not going to be a make, but it'll roll back nicely, and that'll be a tap-in birdie.
Nice approach.
Sensei is there. He is. We are playing against each other. Me, Rick, and Sensei are the 3 players playing in this Pro League flight. We'll have a little tap in there for a nice birdie on 4. Jacob managed to hit 222s, wow, yesterday for Asterism. Great rounds there. It sounds like we'll be seeing some competitive teams this year, some very, very competitive teams. The battle for the top, I don't think has ever been... there's never been as much parity for it, I think, as we're seeing in the early going of this season. You should come to ranked after you're done. We'll see. I kind of joined after getting home, so I may have a couple things to do after traveling, but perhaps I'll definitely be on more consistently now because I'm back. Rick is going to just miss there and end up zipping it back by the pin, but that's not too bad of a leave for the birdie there. Does Rick have a channel too, like you and Sensei? He does. I don't think... He more so like live streams. So Sensei and I like tend to edit them and voice over them into videos. Rick is arguably the best player in the game, and he has a channel. But I don't believe he does like voiceovers on his channel or anything like that. Or like he streams them and is in the chat when he streams. This is my first season. I like the format. The format has really taken off in this season. I'm glad that it's as competitive as it is now. And it's a lot of fun to play. It's a lot of fun to stream. And I love that there's like a team aspect to it too. Definitely one of the top tier formats in this competitive community.
Nice shot.
Let's hit a good shot there, just right of the tree. Ooh, hopefully that doesn't make it all the way to the rough. I don't think it should. Yeah, it'll take a big bounce and end up kind of nicely short there. So perfect drive. And now we should be able to hit this one as close as we can. We'll call it like there. Now hopefully that just bounces off the very low part of the fairway. Okay, it's moving right, moving right. It'll clip the rough first, which is not ideal. We lose a little bit of distance, and I don't think we can go aggressively for this pin, which I didn't really want to do anyway. And it may be good, yeah, so the wedge doesn't quite make it all the way back. And I think I'm a little thankful for that, because I may have gone aggressively for it, and it probably wouldn't have been the move. So let's just hit a good safe shot here. Club up to the 9, use some spin, kick it right. Ooh, it's going to spin a bit, so it kicked real high. It was just a little over-adjusted to the left, but it doesn't roll too far away when you use that 9-iron. We'll end up just tapping in a birdie here. Where is my cat? She was kind of running around. Both of them were. One of them I see asleep in her window unit. She's got a lookout perch. The other one is asleep on my girlfriend. Okay. That's where the 2 cats are. Ooh, nice putt there from Rick from the bottom of the hill. So Rick went a little more aggressively for it. And on this pin, you know, there's a lot of slope down there. So a good putt to save that birdie after ending up down that hill. All right, so we're one better than birdie golf through 5. It hasn't been easy once again. Really, it's quite rare in these competitive mode 18s to see real nice wind conditions. Ooh, and we have another tough one here. So it's 0 wind, but it's that quite difficult pin. What do we want to do here? I just don't think there's a 0 wind strategy for this one, unfortunately. What do I want to do? Let's just hit that shot.
Nice shot.
Hopefully just sneaking by the pine tree, kicking to the right, but not far enough to the right that it puts that first tree in our way. I think we'll be safe. I think that'll be okay. And now we'll just have to roll one up there. We're just on a bad angle for that second tree, though. Yeah, it's going to cause some trouble for us. So I have to put it a little more out to the right than I want. So we may have to actually go up and over, which is not ideal, but I think we can do it. Just hit it with like that much power and some spin. I don't know. Let's try it out. Hit it to like there. A little over 3 dots of power. Now hopefully that makes it up and over the tree. It will. It'll clip the fringe. That should roll back nicely, but not all the way back. Just because it's such a slope.
Nice.
So that's perfect. I tried to play the kick a little bit. With 0 wind, this T position aspect of hole 6 makes that, that front pin super hard to eagle. There's no consistency to it with the different T positions that you see in competitive mode. In single player mode, that's almost a free eagle because you end up with a single player T spot. And from there, you just hit two pretty precise shots. Like, it's not easy, but if you do it right, it goes in every time because the ball ends up in the same spot every time. When you're dealing with the different T spots on hole 6, it's just different. So I didn't play it the same way that I do in a lot of my other videos, just because it's so much tougher to tell exactly where your ball's going to bounce. The tree is more in play, too. The tees are further back. You have to hit it, it kicks to the right a little more. You end up a little further back. The tree is more in play. There's a lot to that shot. Just a little tougher than in one-player mode. Jacob says, that was my par on a minus 25. Oh, man. The fact that you pulled off a 25 after that is pretty incredible, though. All right, let's go short fairway there and then up and over with the 3-iron. That should be a good spot to leave this one. The other one, 17. What do I do? Left to right wind on hole 6? I try to leave it more towards the right of this short fairway. And then hit a little 3-iron up and over. Kind of similar to this, but maybe just slightly different. Let's hit this one to there. I'll hit it with about maybe like that much power. Let's try it out. Hopefully it works. So the wind's in the face a little more than I'd like. Hopefully that hits the fairway. It will. It'll take a big bounce up there. It'll roll to the left and just miss, but, not the easiest hole 7. We'll take that. Just a touch too far left and maybe slightly short. But a tap-in birdie on a tougher pin with some moderate wind. We'll take that every time. Let's tap that in. Sensei did get a dirty lip on that last hole. That was robbery. I meant to say that. Sorry. I do like to acknowledge when shots and putts should have fallen and they don't. And I noticed that and then forgot to say it. Apologies to Sensei. Greetings from North Iowa. You get much snow from the storm? I think I wasn't here for it, but we have about probably like 8 inches of snow on the ground here. So I was nervous about the flight this morning, but it ended up being fine. People were surprised. It was a 25 with 2 pars, both accidental and red bars too. Oh wow, new personal best. You must have made some incredible shots then. 2 pars, minus 25. That is otherworldly. This has been another tough seat here. With the 13 miles an hour in the face, there are some pins that are more doable. Pretty much Pretty much all of them but that one are the ones you want to see, where you can spin it back nicely, or roll it up with some nice, the wind catches it a little more when you're rolling it up. But that pin is so tough with that sort of headwind. We'll move on to hole 8. Looks like we're going to have the toughest pin, because why wouldn't we? And some wind probably in the worst direction, 15 miles an hour. Oh, just brutal conditions here. Gotta play it though. Everybody's got to play it. I feel like it's the way it always goes in this league. What do we want to do about this? Do I want to club down and try to roll this one up there? Maybe we'll try that. Take just a touch of power off of it very, very carefully. And try to bounce this one up there.
Nice shot.
All right. That looks pretty good, actually. Let's see. Take a big kick. Ooh, it's going to roll a little ways by, but that's fine.
Nice.
Just, maybe with tailwind you don't want to hit that shot. This is not an easy putt. Maybe you want to leave it below the hole. Let's see. You can aim it up to there. Hit it with like a little more than a dot of power. Try that. Okay, that looks decent. Oh, it'll just fall. Ooh, man. Okay. That one just sneaks inside the left edge. I thought I missed that one, and it barely makes it in. All right, Rick will tap that in for the birdie. Oh, Jacob. So Jacob's 25 under round was Eagle 3, hole in 1 4, Eagle 5, 15 and 16. So that's some crazy stretches within a single round. Wow. I mean, getting a couple in a row always feels real good, and it's it's very hard to do, to string them together like that. So very nice 25 on that round. People are commenting about Sensei, a couple of putts. I mean, it has not been easy. These have been some pretty brutal wind conditions and pin spots. So, we were this is the type of two round in a row seed that can get to you. It's been pretty brutal. I mean, I play this game a lot, and you don't see worse conditions really than what we saw so far. I mean, this is probably like 90th percentile. And for 2 rounds in a row, it's just been extremely difficult. So you do also have, plenty of other chances in this season to put some good scores down. And this hopefully won't be these hopefully won't be my 2 best rounds. I mean, if they are, it means that it probably means that I got some better seeds and didn't play as well. I think I'm playing pretty well. It's just been hard to come by those nicer scores. And, if you miss a couple of putts, it kind of gets away from you, and you're just hoping that future weeks will be a little bit nicer, and that may be where Sensei is at right now. Let's see what we want to do here, though. Let's go 2, 4, and then like one more. Touch less than that. Let's go 7 iron, roll it up. Probably about that much power. Let's see. Hopefully that works. Oh, it's going to be too far left. Yeah, it's going to be a little side hill putt and a scary one.
Nice approach.
5 feet away. That brutal pin again. I mean, it's brutal with crosswind. Other winds are fine. You can put it on like the line. When you're trying to get the line on this pin, it's just so difficult so far in these couple of rounds. I've had to think about every single putt, and it's a little bit taxing. We'll make it, though. I've been making it. I've been thinking that eventually one of these wouldn't sink, and when you're missing putts, I mean, that's when rounds start to get away from you. There's a good-looking putt from Sensei. Another not-so-easy one. Yeah, Rick is still in the fairway. This flight so far, we've really had to think about every single shot. Rick will, wow, barely miss it. Very well read there with that tougher crosswind. I mean, that's a putt that you absolutely want to leave with a good line, like, perfectly above or perfectly below the hole. The side hill putts are so brutal. Rick almost sinks it, but he gets the line perfect. It was a It wasn't a sideways issue. It was a slightly underpowered shot, but that's where you want to leave it to tap in the birdie. So another 10 under through 9 and another extremely hard fought 10 under through 9. Made the eagle on 3 with sort of a personal conviction type of approach to it. Can we get a nicer back 9? I mean, the front 9 doesn't look the best. I mean, just birdie, birdie, birdie. I know eagles are what people want to see, but sometimes you just don't get the chances at them. We'll move on to the back. Another interesting looking hole 10. We made it last time and it wasn't easy. We'll see if we can pull another one off here. What do we want to do? I think I want to roll this one out. It's safest that way. We'll aim it just a touch more than 2 squares left of the pin. Right about there looks pretty good. We'll hit it with a little more than it looks like we need to, so maybe like 3.2 dots of power. Definitely don't want to hit the fringe. That gives it no chance to fall. We'll see if that's a good looking shot. It's going to hit the green. Okay. And it'll lip around and fall. All right. That one was a tough one. Another not so easy eagle on hole 10. It just carries the fringe, which is exactly what you need to do. Hits the green nicely. If it hits the fringe, it has no chance. It just bounces sideways. But hitting the green is what gives you that nice little kick, and it just sneaks in. Alright, so we'll see birdies from Sensei and Rick. I'll hit a nice one there for the eagle. That'll push me to 12 under on another tough seed here and give me another little lead in this second 18. Let's see if we can push this below par a little bit more. Are we going to get a nice hole 11? Okay, front pin. Some light wind. Looks like it's light wind. We'll have to actually see. Okay, 4 miles an hour on the wind. Let's aim this to... I'll call it there. Yeah, I'll zoom in. That looks pretty good. You know, let's try that. Ooh, maybe slightly overpowered. We'll have to see. It's going to kick to the right. It'll roll back down. I don't think it's going to make it all the way, though. Yeah, it's just going to end up being slightly overpowered. Very near miss. We'll have a tap-in birdie. This is a tough pin. I feel like I've been saying tough over and over, and it just has been. There's been no... you know, there are a couple of easier... Maybe 2 of the 6 are easier on this hole 11. Oftentimes, tougher ace, especially with those middle and right pins. You know, that one was doable. I think I had the line if I didn't overpower it just slightly. But it's not a make, it's just a tap-in birdie. We'll have to move on. Was that one kind of a chance? I think it was. We'll chalk that up to a rare chance that I didn't make in this round so far. I feel like I've taken advantage of the chances, and a lot of them just have not been chances. So that's one that I kind of want back. Try to make the ace there, but you know, I've been playing pretty well other than that. What kind of wind are we going to see here? And what pin? Okay, another tougher pin to make, and some maximum wind. Ugh. This has just been an 2 18s. And I have not been playing poorly. I mean, I've put some good scores out there, but I feel like they just could have been so much better if I played like this, and the seeds were just a little bit better. Okay, I think we want to use 3-iron here. Because the bounce up can go a little too far. So we'll adjust that, like, to there-ish. We'll hit it with a fuller 3, maybe like there. I think that looks pretty decent. Let's at least put this on the green.
Nice shot.
That looks like a good shot. It's going to move, not far enough. It'll kick to the right just slightly. But that'll roll back to a very straight putt. So no complaints there with 11-mile-an-hour winds. That is the maximum crosswind. And a pin that's quite difficult to albatross. Unless you have like 0 wind and the proper tee spot. We'll take that eagle. All right. No problems there. Not the easiest of eagles on this hole 12, but we hit a good second shot to give us a good line. It's on a slopier part of the green, so that the putt can be tougher. Let's see. Sensei ended up, looks like barely on the fringe. Rick is going to end up... Ooh, okay. Ooh, just missing. A lot of oohs there on the right side. So he'll have just a slight side hill putt. There's a nice fringe putt from Sensei for the eagle. Very nice there. Rick will tap his in for the eagle, so eagles all around for the three of us on this hole 12. What tips would I give for putting? Oh, sorry, I feel like I missed a couple chats here. Kind of not paying attention, my apologies. Do I think Wii Sports Resort is harder? I actually don't know, but I'm hoping to find out soon. I should be getting a Wii. I don't know exactly when, but in the near future. And I'll be able to directly compare them, because I just don't remember what Wii Sports Resort is like. What tips would I give for putting? I mean, it really is just all practice and trying to figure out, like, the speed. Like, the game corrects your speed, and you have to figure out, like, what sort of speed you have to, you know, hit to put it into the hole. Kind of visualize the line. It always curves a lot more than you want it to, and I always lean towards letting it curve more than trying to hit it harder. That seems to work pretty well for me. And then it's just practice. I mean, it's not the most intuitive, but when you get it down, it's pretty satisfying. So practicing the putting is definitely a huge thing. Let's see what we want to do here. We'll go to there, and then to, like, maybe there. Tough to tell. Whoops. Keep doing that. We'll try that. Little 5-iron. Maybe like that much power. Let's see.
Nice shot.
Oh, that's going to move too far left. Once again, a tougher shot. Not the most aceable, although we see Rick nearly pull it off. You know, some moderate wind. One of the tougher pins to make the shot on. It's just been difficult to make those hole-outs, to push those scores towards, you know, the fun lower ends. It's been just a grind trying to make every single birdie, and, you know, waiting for the eagle chances that just don't seem to be coming. All right. We'll be at 16 under through 13. Not the same pace as last time, but approaching it. Oh, CBTV thinks Resort is harder. Not in terms of the rolls you get on par 5s, but because... I feel like, yeah, from what I've heard, it's maybe generally harder, but in some ways a little bit easier. Like the rollout that you get. But it's probably less precise, right? I feel like that's what I've heard. Like, it's hard to hit precise shots in that game.
Nice shot.
Speaking of precise shots, that should end up taking about the best possible line. Perfect. All right. We'll have a good look at trying to put this one up on the green in 2. And once again, maximum wind is going to make this a tough albatross. 22 miles an hour. Let's see. Let's aim this to... Let's aim it to there. It's tough to tell exactly where it needs to go, but we'll hit that shot. Is that too much or too little? I'm not exactly sure. Let's do slightly more, just for safety purposes. Don't want to leave this left. I'd rather leave it right, if anything. Let's try it.
Nice shot.
Okay, I think that's decent looking. That should... Ooh, okay, too far. It's just slightly too far.
Nice on.
And now we'll have a little side hiller for what feels like the 20th time this game, or these 2 rounds. Tap it up there. About a dot of power. That should be good. We'll sink it inside the right edge. Haven't missed one of them yet, but they have not been easy. Best 2 count at the end. I guess it's nice to hit some good base scores and improve. It's best 3 overall. So you take your 3 best scores out of the 4 weeks, and that's what we're competing for here. So my score to beat right now, if I jump into my thing, I've got my little graphic up. So I have a 68. So I have 24, 22, and 22. So I'm trying to beat that 22. I have 2 of them. So if I can eliminate one of those scores and improve upon it, that would be nice. I'd have to get a 23 or better either in this round or I have 2 more weeks after this. We have 2 more weeks. Jacob is also in the league to try to improve those scores. In terms of overall gameplay, Wii Sports Resort is harder. The fact I was so good at Resort, this is quoting CBTV. I don't have it. This is not me saying that myself. The fact I was so good at Resort and OG probably translates to my level in this game too. I mean, that makes sense. I feel like they're very, very similar games and definitely translatable. Whew, okay, we're getting towards the final stretch of our game here. This one's going to kick to the right a good amount. I don't think I want to spin it though. So we'll hit... We'll call it that shot. Maybe slightly more than 3 dots of power and bounce it up there that way. Let's see. Ooh, that's going to be maybe slightly too far. Kick to the right. Yeah, definitely too far. Hopefully that holds the green. It will hold it. Okay.
Nice one.
Last time I left it so short. I guess it was, you know, very light wind last time around, but hit that one way too far. This is a pretty straight putt, actually. Let's just hit it right at it. Plenty of power to get it there. Hopefully that just blasts through all the break and sinks for the birdie. Rick is going to sink it. Beautiful shot there from Rick. I believe that's to tie me on this round. Once again, it's been a battle. This has not been easy for Eagles, but Rick's made a couple of tough ones, and he makes another one there on 15 to tie this one back up. Yeah, so it's going to be 19 unders through 15 for the two of us. Sensei will be at 14. We've got 3 holes to play to try to push this round lower and lower. You know, 2 more eagles would be nice. If we can get a good condition on 16, once again, just... Ooh, is this okay? Is this okay? Okay, I have the good T-spot. Do I want to club down to the spoon and launch this one up there? CB says this is the profit part of the league. I feel like I'm still in battle for good score mode. I guess it is profit though. It makes sense. I like that thinking. I think I can go for this. Hopefully pretty safely. Let's try it. Little up and over action. Hopefully that clears everything, and it will. And I'll be nicely in the bunker too. Okay. So this is... Oh, Rick made it. What a shot from Rick to make that one. From way in the back. I saw that as I was flying over. Very, very nice shot there. I'm going to have a decent look at it. Let's hit it with like a dot of power and roll it up there that way. We'll hit that shot. I think this aim is decent. Let's try it out. Oh, it's just not enough. Oh, and it went quite far, too. Okay. Was that slightly downwind? It may have been, and I probably wasn't paying attention to that. Okay. Just a tap-in birdie. Rick has made some tough eagles. Every eagle, pretty much, has been tough in these 2 18-hole rounds. But very nice shot to Rick to... On the last one and on this one, through some 15-mile-an-hour and then 29-mile-an-hour winds to... jump back into first place from 1 shot down on this second 18. Sensei looks like went OB. I think he had the tough T spot, and it really, when you're dealing with any sort of left to right wind, the leftward T spots just get absolutely just the short end of the stick, to put it, you know, kindly. And it's just brutal to be over there. All right. We've got hole 17. We're going to have some wind. What direction is it going to be in? Very lightly in the face. Okay. Oh, it's a tough T-spot, though. This is one that I think we still have to hit just a full drive up there and just bounce it by, which is a little unfortunate. Or do we? I don't know. Is this one where you can put it just like slightly less than full power and it works? Let's try it. It's a little scary, but let's try it.
Nice shot.
Hopefully that doesn't cause me to launch all the way by. Take a good... That's going to launch. That's for sure launching. Yeah, oh, man. Hole 17, man. Just brutal. Definitely needed full driver there. Ugh, just a misread, a misplay. We have a little 60-foot putt if that's what I elect to go for. You know, it is an option. And the power is actually pretty easy to get from this far back. You just want it to be slightly over that red bar power. Should we try that? Oh, man. Tough break there.
Nice approach.
Lip out. I don't think the chip would have been any easier. It's a slopey part of the green. 2 pars on 17 with some tough tee spots is just not fun. I mean, if you get any... We had the front 2... Or the front middle and like the front right pins on hole 17. And those ones are just like, you can't really hit the driver up there, and it's... Or you can't really hit like a... I don't even know. You can't hit anything less than a full driver. You end up in the back of the green. Even if you hit a good shot, you have like a 40-foot putt like we saw there from Rick. If you try to hit it any shorter, you launch or you end up short. Just those pins on 17, regardless of wind conditions, are so brutal. And once again, 20 under is where I'll be through 17. I've played, I feel like, just so well. I've hit the shots that I needed to, and we just haven't seen the scoring opportunities. It's just a frustrating week. But you know, I'll have to remind myself as we end on this tough-looking hole 18 that I played well. You know, hit some good shots. Hole 18, once again, wind in the face. It just has not been nice at all. The conditions that we saw here in these 218s.
Nice shot.
Very few eagle chances on either of these rounds. I feel like I did what I could with these seeds. And, you know, sometimes you just don't get the proper conditions to make the good scores. It's going to be 220 or betters, but that's not going to be what it takes to win this league. Just felt like it was a little out of my hands that week. Or this week. Let's see if we can finish strong, though.
Nice shot.
So I've already got my 222 under pars. That one actually may have a chance. No, it's not. It's going to launch, as they seem to always do when you're dealing with these tougher conditions on 17 and 18.
Nice one.
We'll be 22 feet away. We'll have a chance to tap this in for the eagle. To go 20 or 44 under on the week, 22 under on this round, if I were to make this. I mean, it's not bad, but it's not going to be the top scores. And I'm hoping to be near the top for my, you know, for my team. Just wasn't really possible with these tough conditions we saw in these 218s. We'll be back with it next week. I mean, statistically, the game can't throw things like this at us forever. I mean, even week 1, I had a good score, and it wasn't easy. The first round was a tough 22. The second round was a pretty hard-fought 24. We have 2 really hard-fought 22s this week. So decent scores overall, but I feel like they could have been so much better. We'll have to try to play as well next week and hope for some nicer conditions. Ooh, is Rick gonna... Rick has been so close to all these. I mean, gotta hand it to Rick for continuing to just put him close and close and close. And you know, he made 2 of them towards the end. He was able to pull ahead on the leaderboard, but it has not been easy. We see arguably the best player, currently the ranked number 1, have some, you know, lower scores than I'm sure he'd like. He's typically someone... He actually owns the 2-round record of 30 under and 29 under back-to-back on this league. So, it's been tough. We've seen some lower scores this round. But, you know, not much you can do about it. We'll be back next week. I'll stop complaining about the conditions. We'll move on. I mean, 22 under, we'll take it. Hopefully, you know, that's what we're fighting against now. 22 under. Pars on 17 are always tough, but we'll be back with plenty of other golf this week. There's so many game modes. The World Cup should be continuing back up soon. This week this league will continue either on Friday or Sunday, TBD on what day I'll be playing. But there'll be some ranked action and plenty of global action, and also grinding for those local mode records in the meantime as well. So thank you all for joining. I appreciate you all being here. Shout out to everybody who is also in this league, hopping on, and, you know, a couple of my teammates were in the chat rooting for me as well. We'll be back next week with this league. Thanks to everybody once again. We'll see you real soon. Actually, tomorrow at roughly the same time as I started this this stream, we'll be back on with a normal stream. So catch you all real soon.